Hello kind people of YouTube and welcome back to another video. You might have noticed yesterday I took a bit of a break. I wasn't planning on it, I just had a supremely busy day. Today has been almost equally as busy, but I can't leave you guys hanging for 2 days in a row. So we are back today with another quick look at the markets and at some news. Now this will be a shorter video than usual, so sorry for that. Hopefully tomorrow I'm back to my regular like 25 to 45 minute videos. Today I'm aiming for more like 12 or 13. Anyway, let's jump into it by refreshing CoinMarketCap as always. And here we see, once again, very little movement. Do I even really need to talk about it today? We pretty much see the same thing we have seen for the last couple days now. The market cap still at about 209 billion, the 24-hour volume still at about 10 to 11 billion, and Bitcoin dominance still at the exact same point, 53.7% as it was in the last video. Nothing has really changed. We see most tokens down by about 1% and a few tokens up by 3 or 4, pretty much making up for the falling other ones. Just not that much interesting movement happening here. Notable is just how close Ethereum is to $200 right now. It might fall under it again in the near future, but we will see that soon. Aside from that, Tether has still not fully recovered, 98.7 cents. It is significantly closer to $1 again, but it is still looking a bit worrying here. Aside from that, not much happening, ever so slight downturn for the markets today. Pretty much the same trend that we have seen for 6 days in a row. Let's jump into some actual articles, shall we? Sorry, I have a bit of a... My throat is a bit dry today. I just had a cough like quite a lot a couple minutes ago. So if you hear me, if anything is weird, if you hear me coughing and stuff, I'm sorry about that. I was fine all day and it just started. All these articles are linked in the description as always. So if you want to read any of these yourself, or if I don't read them out fully, make sure to take a look there. First up, something about XRP. They are of course at the Cebos event, at Swift's event, and some interesting stuff coming out of that. Earlier this month, Ripple announced that they would be attending the Society for Worldwide International... That they would be attending the Society for Worldwide Interbank Financial Telecommunications annual conference known as Cebos this year. This led many to believe that a potential partnership was on the horizon, considering that Swift is Ripple's biggest competitor in the market it is targeting. The attitude of Ripple towards Swift has been demonstrated many times in the past, with multiple executives making it clear that they wish to take over the incumbents and not partner with them. This has not deterred the XRP community on Twitter, many of whom continue to believe that a partnership is coming between the two. However, Marcus Treacher, the global head of strategic accounts at Ripple, said in a tweet from the conference, "Swift at Cebos today, the benefits of DLT are promising, but delivering it is still years away. There are over 100 financial institutions with access to instant payments across 40 countries and 6 continents who would say otherwise." This is in reference to Ripple's network of banks known as RippleNet, reaching across 40 countries. They aim to create a seamless network for payments around the world known as the Internet of Value. Treacher also said in another tweet, "New McKinsey Global Payments Map suggests leading banks are moving away from POCs and using blockchain at scale. Ripple's blockchain allows for faster time to market and better global payment services." The sentiment of the XRP community reigned strong after such statements from an executive at the firm, with user Jalen4U stating, "I hope the Ripple team will make it known that the technology Swift says will take years already exists and works with Ripple. I hope you guys get the chance for a rebuttal." Peter Swanepoel, no idea how to pronounce it, I'm very sorry, stated, "Years away, which means that XRP is the vehicle for instant cross-border payments at the moment, right?" User Omega Trader stated, "I guess what he is saying is Swift likes the DLT, but it will take a long time to reach the use of that technology, which I call BS. And CryptoPenny, another Twitter user, put an end to partnership speculations by stating, "Obviously no partnership in the works. The plan now appears to be Ripple simply kicking Swift's ass." That is a nice way to put it. Now, we were talking about this a couple days ago, briefly on the channel. How I thought it was possible there might be some kind of collaboration going on, but that it doesn't seem to be any kind of major partnership. If anything, Swift might allow its partners to use Ripple's technologies for liquidity while they themselves do the payment layer. Now, we don't know anything about that either way, and that wouldn't really qualify as a partnership. That would just be Swift's system being open enough to accommodate using XRP's technology. But Ripple is very much positioning themselves here not as a collaborator, not as someone who wants to work with Swift, but as someone who wants to get rid of Swift and replace them. And I think that is ultimately that will be harder to accomplish. It will take longer, but that is ultimately where there is so much more growth potential and where the technology can do so much more. Why work with a technology that hasn't significantly updated in 45 years? Like, why even work with that? Replace it altogether. Like, Swift might finally get on the blockchain train and allow the use of Ripple's technologies in addition to their own, working together. But instead of working with an association that has been so behind technology and so unwilling to upgrade itself. Keep in mind, the only major upgrade to Swift, and Swift has been around for 45 years, the only major upgrade has decreased time for some transfers from 3 days to 2 days. That is the only significant update they have pushed out on their platform in 45 years. So why continue working with a dinosaur that is completely unwilling to change like that when you have the technology that you can replace this? And of course, this is also a direct attack at Swift, a direct attack on their technologies. They're saying it will take a couple of years to develop this kind of stuff. Ripple already has it. They already have it. It's already live. They have Xcurrent, Xvia, Xrapid. They have RippleNet. It is already out. It is already working. It's already live. The technology is there. The infrastructure and regulatory framework just needs to be built up. So this seems to squash rumors that there might be some kind of collaboration going on. Now, like I said, I didn't think there was some kind of major collaboration either way. I thought, if anything, it might happen that that Swift might take care of the payment layer only and might allow banks to use any settlement layer they wish, including Ripple. But well, we will have to wait to see if any of that turns out to be true. Either way, Ripple seems set on replacing Swift rather than working with them. And in my opinion, that is the right direction to take the company and their technology and their token. Anyway, continuing on, some good news about Monero. They had a major upgrade, and since then their fees have just fallen like crazy. Transaction fees on Monero, the 10th largest cryptocurrency network, have fallen sharply after last Thursday's system-wide software update. The reduction comes in the wake of the platform's activation of a highly anticipated new form of cryptography named bulletproofs, a new technology that seeks to make the Monero network's privacy features more scalable by restructuring how its confidential transactions are verified. According to data published by BitInfo Charts, average Monero fees fell from about 0.54 cents, on Thursday to roughly 0.021 cents as of Saturday, and 96% drop. And we see a beautiful image here. So yeah, from 29 to 0.02, that is quite significant. That is from one day to the next. If we're looking at the 2-day here, it has fallen from 0.55 to 0.02. That is crazy. Good job, Monero. Such a dramatic shift was previously predicted by Monero developers speaking to CoinDesk. I think you can safely say a typical transaction fee goes down by more than 95%, Monero core developer Monero Mu remarked last week. Monero Mu also said that fee reductions could even be lower, depending on, I guess the fee reductions could actually be higher than the fee itself would be lower, depending on the kind of transaction that users create. Alongside bulletproofs, the upgrade performed via a mechanism called a hard fork contained other features intended to improve privacy on the platform, as well as new code to deter manufacturers from building specialized mining hardware for Monero. Speaking on IRC last week, developers celebrated the upgrade with Sarang Nota, sorry for mispronouncing that, I almost certainly did, a cryptographer at the Monero research lab that led the work on the Bulletproof's implementation, writing that it's gonna be great seeing the blockchain growth charts. There were also predictions that the drop on fees might open the door to additional uses for XMR, the cryptocurrency that powers the Monero blockchain. Core developer HYC said that the upgrade was definitely making the notion of micropayments more palatable again. Of course, the difference here is that before an average transaction would cost you half a cent and now it costs you only 2% of a cent. That makes anything working with really small monetary amounts much more appealing. A very good step in the right direction. It is nice to see Monero pull off this upgrade. Very good, very good. Next up, we briefly talked about this a couple days ago as well, but we have more news now. Visa set to launch blockchain-based digital identity system with IBM in Q1 of 2019. Visa is readying its blockchain-based digital identity system for cross-border payments for launch in the first quarter of 2019. The system, dubbed Visa B2B Connect, will provide a blockchain-based digital identity solution for financial institutions to securely process cross-border payments. The system reportedly tokenizes sensitive business data, such as banking details and account numbers, granting them a unique cryptographic identifier that will be used for transactions on the platform. Kevin Fallon, global head at Visa Business Solutions, suggests that the system will help with fraud. B2B Connect's digital identity greatly reduces the opportunity for fraud that might otherwise exist with checks, ACH and wire transfers today, while also helping companies remain compliant as part of the regulated financial ecosystem. From a technical standpoint, the solution will integrate a Hyperledger Fabric framework, which is hosted by the Linux Foundation and was developed with input from IBM, with Visa's core assets, which the release claims will establish a scalable, permissioned network for use in the financial sector. Jason Kelly, general manager at IBM Blockchain Services, is quoted as saying that the system represents one of the most powerful examples to date of how blockchain is transforming payments. Fintech provider Bottomline Technologies, which service 1,200 financial institutions according to the release, is also partnering with Visa on the B2B Connect system, a partnership that will enable mutual financial institution clients to access the system. As reported last month, Thailand's fourth largest bank, Kasikorn Bank, just recently joined the B2B Connect corporate cross-border payments initiative. According to Visa's website, B2B Connect was first previewed back in 2017 and counted the US Commerce Bank, South Korea's Shinhan Bank, the Union Bank of the Philippines and the United Overseas Bank in Singapore as among the first partners processing pilot payments ahead of commercial launch. Even as it embraces blockchain's potential, Visa, alongside MasterCard, has this month reportedly moved to group cryptocurrency and initial coin offerings under a new high-risk securities merchants classification, meaning interaction with them will be subject to additional monitoring. So once again, we see a large, established financial company tapping into blockchain's potential here. And once again, we see IBM working with them on it. These are two big companies that both have various blockchain patents, and it's always interesting to see what they develop with it. This seems like a very sensible use of blockchain. It remains to be seen just how good this implementation is, but there are certainly very good use cases for it, and anything that keeps fraud down is, in my books, generally a good thing. And last news for the day. This isn't news as much as it is some expert opinions, as it is an opinion piece. Fidelity could single-handedly solidify crypto as a new asset class. On October 15, Fidelity, the world's fourth largest asset manager with $7.2 billion assets under management, launched its crypto custody arm. At the time, Fidelity CEO Abigail Johnson stated that the long-term strategy of the investment firm is to make Bitcoin and the rest of the cryptocurrency market more accessible to investors. Our goal is to make digitally native assets such as Bitcoin more accessible to investors. We expect to continue investing and experimenting over the long term with ways to make this emerging asset class easier for our clients to understand and use. According to BKCM CEO Brian Kelly, the stamp of approval by Fidelity on cryptocurrencies as a new asset class has allowed the market to appeal to institutional investors that include hedge funds, pensions, and endowments. One of the world's largest asset managers and investment firms has recognized cryptocurrencies as an asset class, and Kelly emphasized that it could lead to an influx of a herd of institutional investors in the months to come in the sector. It is not so much as the institutional mandate anymore. Custody has been a very big hurdle, and having somebody like Fidelity put their stamp on it and say, yes, this is a new asset class and we're going to custody this, I believe they even said that they may have some insurance. So that is a step closer. Now you have Yale investing, Yale endowment, that has put everybody on notice. Now you either have to have a strategy or you have to have a reason why you're not, said Kelly on CNBC's Fast Trader. Changpeng Zhao, I probably mispronounced it, I'm very sorry, the CEO of Binance, better known to the crypto community as CZ, stated that institutional money will enter crypto and that it is simply a matter of time. What happens when a fund like Fidelity allocates a mere 5% of their portfolio to crypto? Have you calculated how much that is, he stated. 5% of $7.2 trillion assets under management by Fidelity is equivalent to around $360 billion, which is larger than the entire valuation of the crypto market. I think up higher in the, yeah, they said $7.2 billion here and I accidentally read that out. It is of course $7.2 trillion in assets. I'm very sorry. If a major asset manager allocates a small percent of its portfolio in the cryptocurrency market as small bet relative to the size of its holdings, then it could trigger many institutional investors to come into the cryptocurrency market. Currently, leading companies in the cryptocurrency sector, Coinbase and BitGo, along with financial institutions such as Goldman Sachs and Fidelity, are rapidly improving the institutional architecture around digital assets. Mike Belcher, the CEO of BitGo, said that the lack of custodian solutions represented a big gap between institutional investors and the cryptocurrency market, and a rising number of companies are closing that gap. And he said, if you were investing in any other asset class, you're probably not worried about the asset just disappearing. But this one, people still have that fear. We've got to conquer that. So these are some very exciting opinions here. Now, Fidelity is absolutely enormous, and we've heard a lot about it in the last couple of weeks. It remains to be seen just how much money actually flows into the crypto markets through Fidelity. But even if they themselves don't move all that much money, this is a very important precedent. This is the first time a company anywhere near that large has launched a crypto custody arm, to my knowledge. Custody, of course, traditional financial product, very interesting to institutional investors, very interesting to anyone with a lot of money. We're talking people with tens, hundreds of millions or even billions here. We're talking large companies, we're talking massive banks. This is very exciting, and at the very least, it should give cryptocurrencies some more mainstream acceptance isn't quite the right word, recognition. Very, very good to see this here. With this, I'm gonna let you guys go for today. Very sorry about my voice, all the coughing, all that. It just started 5 minutes before I started making this video. It will probably be gone the moment I'm done with this video. As always, have a wonderful day. Thank you for watching. If you want more videos like this, make sure to subscribe. If you like my videos and you want to support this channel, you can do that with a Patreon monthly donation, even for $1. The link to my Patreon is in the description. There's also other ways to support the channel, as well as my social media links, all the links to these articles, and an email address where you can ask questions for a potential question and answer video I would do in the future. Thanks for watching, and I'll talk to you guys soon.